Everything you've been told about learning English is wrong. You don't need years of boring grammar lessons. You don't need to memorize thousands of words. And you definitely don't need to be afraid of making mistakes. In fact, the real secret to fluency is much simpler, faster, and way more fun than you think. Imagine being able to speak English naturally, without hesitation. No fear. No awkward pauses. Just confidence. That's exactly what this video is about. I'm going to show you how to practice English in a way that actually works, without wasting time on things that don't. You don't need to be perfect. You just need the right method. And today, I'm going to break it down for you step by step. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to do every single day to improve your English fast. Learning English in just 7 days might sound impossible, but what if it isn't? Think about how babies learn a language, not by studying grammar books, but by constant exposure, repetition, and interaction. The same principle applies here. The trick isn't about memorizing endless vocabulary lists, but immersing yourself in the language. This method isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. Imagine waking up every day, knowing exactly what step to take next. That's what we're about to explore, a structured, daily approach to mastering English in just 1 week. Now, you might be thinking, 7 days? Really? How is that even possible? Here's the truth. Learning English isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's not about knowing every word, but about knowing how to use what you already know. If you train your brain to recognize patterns, connect sounds to meaning, and practice consistently, fluency will come faster than you expect. This isn't just theory. It's backed by how the brain acquires language naturally. Each day of this method is designed to push you out of your comfort zone in a way that's fun and engaging. You won't be staring at textbooks for hours. You'll be actively listening, speaking, and interacting with English as if you already live in an English-speaking country. Every small action you take will be a building block toward fluency. No pressure, no boring lessons, just practical, real-world techniques that get results. So, let's break it down. 7 days, 7 powerful strategies. Each one designed to rewire your brain for English fluency in record time. And it all starts with a simple trick, one that has nothing to do with books or grammar rules. Imagine this: you wake up, and instead of scrolling through social media in your native language, you press play on an English podcast. As you get ready, English voices fill your ears. No studying, no stress, just effortless exposure. This is how babies learn, constant listening before speaking. The brain is like a sponge. It absorbs patterns, tones, and sentence structures without you even realizing it. The best part? You don't need to understand every word. Just let the rhythm of English become familiar. That's how fluency starts, not with books, but with sound. You might be thinking, but if I don't understand everything, how is that helping me? simple. The brain picks up repeated sounds and common phrases automatically. If you've ever had a song stuck in your head, you already know how this works. Your job isn't to translate every word, it's to train your ears to recognize patterns. Try this. Listen to a short podcast episode twice. The first time, just let it play. The second time, notice how much more you catch. It's like magic, but it's actually science. And don't limit yourself to podcasts. Switch your phone settings to English. Watch your favorite TV show without subtitles. Play YouTube videos where people speak naturally, not scripted lessons, but real conversations. The goal is to immerse yourself in the sound of English all day long. Even if you only catch 30% at first, that's 30% more than yesterday. Over time, your brain will connect the dots, and soon, words that once felt foreign will start to feel natural. Now, here's the fun part. You don't have to sit still to learn. Listen while cooking, working out, or walking to work. Learning happens when English becomes part of your daily life, not just something you study. And once you train your brain to hear English everywhere, something incredible happens. You start thinking in English too. But we'll get to that soon. Most people think fluency starts with speaking to others, but here's the real secret. Fluency starts with speaking to yourself. Think about it. If you can't express your thoughts when you're alone, how will you do it in a conversation? The trick isn't waiting until you're ready. It's training your brain to think in English first. And the best way to do that? Talk to yourself every single day. Sounds weird? Maybe. But it's how every great speaker practices. Stand in front of a mirror and describe your day, even if it's simple. I woke up late today. I need coffee. This shirt looks good on me. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. Your brain needs repetition to make English automatic. And the more you talk to yourself, the more natural it feels. Here's another trick. Narrate what you're doing. Walking to work? The sky is blue today. I see a dog. I feel great. Cooking? I'm chopping onions. I need more salt. This forces your brain to connect English with real life, instead of just memorizing words from a textbook. The goal isn't perfect grammar, the goal is to make English part of your thinking process. And the best part? When you train your brain to think in English, speaking with others becomes 10 times easier. No more pausing to translate in your head. No more struggling to find words. Just smooth, natural speaking. And trust me, once you start talking to yourself, the next step will feel even easier. Fluency isn't just about speaking, it's about expanding your vocabulary in a way that sticks. Most people try to memorize long word lists, but let's be honest, they forget them the next day. Why? Because memorization without context is useless. That's why you need a mysterious notebook, your personal English vault filled with words that actually matter to you. Here's how it works. Every day, write down 5 new words. But don't just write them, use them in funny, weird, or crazy sentences. Why? Because the brain remembers things that are unusual and emotional. For example, if you learn the word awkward, don't just write, awkward means uncomfortable. Instead, write, I felt awkward when I waved at someone who wasn't waving at me. You'll never forget it. The key is making learning fun and personal. Write about your day, your dreams, your mistakes. Use English to describe your life. If you love food, write words related to cooking. If you love sports, learn phrases used by athletes. The more connected the words are to your interests, the faster you'll remember them. This isn't just about learning, it's about owning the language. And here's where the magic happens. Review your notebook every morning. Just 5 words a day might seem small, but in 1 month, that's 150 new words. In a year, 1,800 words. That's enough to hold deep conversations. And once these words become part of your daily thinking, it's time to bring them to life in a whole new way. Speaking English isn't just about words, it's about expression, confidence, and rhythm. If you sound unsure, people will struggle to understand you. But when you speak with energy, emotion, and clarity, your words come alive. That's where the acting challenge comes in. Forget boring pronunciation drills. Today, you're going to perform English, not just speak it. Here's the challenge. Pick a short scene from an English movie or TV show. It can be dramatic, funny, or even intense. Watch how the actors use their voices, emotions, and body language. Then, copy everything, their tone, their pauses, their facial expressions. If they whisper, you whisper. If they shout, you shout. The goal is to feel the language, not just repeat words. Why does this work? Because fluency isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. If you sound robotic, people might not understand you. But if you speak naturally, with emotion and flow, you'll sound like a native. Try this. Record yourself acting out a scene. Then, compare it to the original. Notice how your pronunciation improves without even thinking about it. And here's the best part, acting removes fear. You're not just speaking English anymore, you're playing a role. This trick has helped countless people break their fear of speaking. And once you feel comfortable expressing yourself with emotion, you'll start embracing something even more powerful, your mistakes. Most people are terrified of making mistakes when speaking English. They worry about sounding silly, using the wrong words, or getting laughed at. But here's the truth, mistakes are not your enemy. They are your greatest teacher. In fact, the funniest mistakes are the ones you never forget. So, instead of fearing them, why not celebrate them? Think about it. How many times have you laughed at an awkward translation or a weird phrase you accidentally said? Maybe you meant to say I'm full after eating but ended up saying I'm pregnant, which actually happens a lot. Or maybe you confidently told someone I'm boring instead of I'm bored. These moments feel embarrassing at first, but guess what? You never make that mistake again. That's why the best way to improve fast is to turn your mistakes into jokes. Write them down in your notebook. Share them with friends. Laugh at them. The more fun you have, the more you'll remember. Language is like life. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of surprises. If you wait until you're perfect, you'll never speak. But if you embrace your mistakes, you'll speak more, learn faster, and enjoy the process. And here's the secret: native speakers make mistakes too. The difference? They don't let them stop them. So, let go of the fear. Start speaking with confidence. And once you do, it's time to take your skills to the next level. After 6 days of intense learning, there's only one thing left to do: put it all to the test. You've been listening, speaking to yourself, writing, acting, and even laughing at your mistakes. Now, it's time to see how much you've grown. No more waiting, no more overthinking. Today, you're going to speak English in real life. Here's the challenge: call a friend and have a conversation in English. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just talk. If you don't have someone to call, write a short paragraph about your day and record yourself reading it out loud. Play it back and listen. How does it sound? What words feel easy? What words need work? The goal isn't to be flawless, it's to take action and track your progress. Why does this work? Because confidence comes from action, not from thinking about action. The more you speak, the more comfortable you get. Imagine learning to swim just by watching videos. Sounds ridiculous, right? You have to jump into the water. The same goes for English. The moment you stop hesitating and start speaking is the moment you begin to sound fluent. And here's a secret: once you complete this challenge, you'll never go back to the old way of learning. Because now, English isn't just something you study, it's something you live. And the real secret to fluency? It's not about grammar, books, or even lessons. It's about something much bigger. After everything you've done this week, listening, speaking, acting, even making mistakes, you've probably realized something: learning English isn't about studying harder. It's about making it part of your life. The biggest mistake most people make? They treat English like a school subject, not like a skill to be used every day. But the truth is, fluency has nothing to do with knowing every rule, it has everything to do with practice. Think about it. How did you learn your first language? You didn't sit down with a grammar book as a baby. You listened, you imitated, you made mistakes, and you didn't care. That's exactly how you need to approach English. The people who learn fastest are the ones who stop overthinking and start having fun. That's why this 7-day challenge worked. It forced you to interact with English, not just memorize it. Now, here's the real secret. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to spend 5 hours a day studying. You just need to do a little bit, every single day. Even 15 minutes of real, active learning will take you further than cramming once a week. Listen to English while making coffee. Talk to yourself in the shower. Read 1 page of a book before bed. Make English your daily habit, and fluency will follow. So, the question isn't, can I learn English? The real question is, am I willing to make it part of my daily life? Because if you are, there's nothing stopping you from becoming fluent. Absolutely nothing. Now, you have everything you need to start speaking English with confidence. But here's the thing, knowing what to do is not enough. You have to actually do it. So, let me ask you, what's the first step you're going to take today? Will you listen to a podcast? Talk to yourself? Write down new words? Drop a comment below and tell me. The biggest mistake people make? Waiting. Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting to feel ready. But fluency doesn't come from waiting, it comes from taking action, even when you don't feel ready. So, stop overthinking. Start speaking. Your English will only improve if you use it. And if you want more strategies to make English easy and natural, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss a lesson. Also, check out the next video. It's packed with even more tips to help you speak English like a pro. So, are you ready? Let's go. Your fluency starts now.